Important update from law enforcement officials, and Putco bus services is currently underway in Limpopo, and that's ahead of the major Moria pilgrimage by ZCC pilgrims. That briefing has gotten underway. Let's listen in.
We have real-time monitoring of our buses, colleagues. Each and every bus has been fitted with 4 cameras and a tracking unit on it. At every given moment in time, we are able to see where these buses are operating, what is happening inside the bus. Are the passengers safe? Is the driver safe? Are they driving in accordance with the rules of the road? So that's what Putco brings to the table in ensuring that everyone that gets on our bus from the origin up until they get to Moria, they do so safely so. We are proud as Putco colleagues to remain as the transport partner for South Africa, where we're saying to you, you can depend on us no matter when and where you want to do so. We also extend our appreciation to the church for placing their confidence in Putco once again. The relationship between Putco and church, it's not just a contract. It is partnership rooted in mutual respect, history, and shared responsibility to move our communities with dignity and care. Our presence here today, colleagues, is not only to symbolize the Putco's operational muscle, but also our leadership in public-private partnership that serves the greater good of our communities. Putco is here and will remain the leading transport company in South Africa. We are not just moving buses, we are moving lives, faith, culture, and unity. To the public, our passengers, and our partners, SAPS, we want to thank you for entrusting us with this big project, and we are here to assure you that we will deliver as per the mandate. I thank you.
Thank you so much. We will come to the end of our session, but before we do that, I would allow the traffic police to just say a few words.
No, thank you very much, and I must applaud the General in terms of her remarks in relation to our expectations as well as our plans. From traffic police, we can say that in comparison with the previous years, to this year Easter weekend, we were caught by surprise in terms of the traffic volume. Since yesterday, when we were doing our analysis, there was a complete decline in terms of traffic volume. For an example, the highest numbers that we have recorded today was 1,600, and as we speak, we never even engaged with the toll plazas to assist us to open the gates for free in order to alleviate the congestion. But I must say there was a signal in the afternoon between the hours 1600 and 1700 where we recorded the highest of 1,900 and throughout the night. But this morning, at least we can see that there's a decline. But what I can assure is that we always still have those irresponsible road users who are just prepared to transgress. It's their plan to transgress. Like yesterday, we nabbed a boy who was doing 214 general, and which is unacceptable. So some people, they take an advantage. At the age of 25, he was doing 214 and we were able to nab him. But much concentration on our critical routes is your N11 that connects from all the way from Mpumalanga into the Botswana border. The N11, we are expecting buses coming from our neighboring country, Botswana. A much concentration will be on our R101, your N1, that connects into Polokwane. But the most critical route that will have as notorious route is the R71 that goes into Moria. And today, as expected, we saw a lot of buses going into the side of Moria side. And as a result, traffic officers together with the police and the members of the portfolio committee who are just augmenting on what we are doing, we are ready to deal with those eventualities that will be coming. But I can say, for now, in terms of accidents and incidents, maybe we are still quantifying the number of accidents, but fortunate, yesterday we never recorded any major crash in our province. And it's our wish that through this pilgrimage, we'll be able to deal with this road safety related matters until the last day of this Easter weekend. I must say we had our pre-Easter weekend, Easter weekend, and the post. But for now, we are more on the Easter weekend, and we've started intensifying as from yesterday regarding the matters in relation to the road safety matters. And I think in total, in a nutshell, but the general has actually touched all the nerves in terms of the safety matters. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Before we go any further, I would just want to check with an indication of the entry. There are any questions that you want to pose to the general or any other members that are here before us? It looks like we are all sorted. Thank you so much for coming through. Thank you so much once again.
We are happy that you are
here. We will meet at 1 o'clock. Yeah, 1 on 1.
No one's left here.
All right, so those are live visuals coming to you from just outside of Polokwane in Limpopo. That's where traffic officials, including officials from Putco bus services, have given a joint briefing, essentially to outline their state of readiness for what is considered one of the country's largest religious gatherings. That is, of course, the Moriah pilgrimage, where at least if past information is anything to go by, up to 2 million people are expected to converge in that part of the country in the next couple of days. It's the first time that these pilgrims are gathering, of course, unrestricted in 5 years after the restrictions of the COVID-19 pandemic, where you might remember among the long list of rules that were introduced at the time was a ban on religious gatherings. But it's interesting to hear how, officials are responding to this. Putco, of course, feeling very buoyed by their state of readiness. They say that they're very prepared for this public-private partnership, which of course is something that they look forward to. They have cameras installed in the approximately 500 buses that are going to be used. But word from officials, this is now the traffic management officials, saying that in fact, they've been surprised so far by what they've seen on the roads, and that's because they're seeing lower than expected volumes of traffic. The highest peak, we're told, was between 4 and 5 p.m. yesterday. That's when we were told about 1,900 vehicles were registered, at least at that particular point in the country, which presumably is less than we expect. But there's also been real concerns nonetheless about, drivers that are still taking chances and have been found to be breaking the rules of the road. In one instant, we're told of a 25-year-old man who was arrested for speeding. He had clocked in 214 kilometers per hour on the road, which is, of course, incredibly concerning, if not outright recklessness on the roads, given just, how devastating the impact of something like that could be if anything were to go wrong. But I suppose the good news so far is that Limpopo province has recorded no major crash so far. And as you can imagine, officials hoping that they'll be able to essentially keep that going throughout the course of this Easter long weekend. Yesterday, though, we did hear of a crash involving an SUV and a bakkie in Mpumalanga. That's just near Belfast, if memory serves, where sadly 5 people had died. Hopefully that's where we'll cap the fatalities, especially when you consider that most of this long weekend is still ahead of us.